Traveling during August in Switzerland, is it too hot? Is it going to be too crowded? Is it going to be too expensive? Should you actually travel at all? Well, then watch this video to the end and then you'll be perfectly prepared. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jemo and I'm a Switzerland travel expert. In this video I'm going through various categories such as weather, attractions, food, culture, greens, hiking and so on, and then I'm sure you will know everything that is important for you if you want to plan to come to Switzerland during August. Now let's talk about the weather. I know this is very important to many of you, so here I have great news. August, it's summer. That means it's going to be very sunny and also very warm. Temperature-wise, it's going to be around 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, so you'll be really able to walk around in shorts and t-shirts. It's going to be very nice. And by the way, it's also rather dry, so it's not going to be like in the tropical countries where you're going to sweat a lot. I know not all of you like when it's hot, so here I have a great tip. You just can go on higher altitudes. Up in the Alps, it's going to be cooler, around 20 degrees, but you're still going to be able to enjoy the same amount of sun. There are also days at where it's going to rain. So yes, it's summer, it's going to be mostly sunny, but not all the time. And here in August, it's also important to mention it cannot only just rain, it can also rain a lot. In fact, it happens quite often on a 3 to 5 year basis that we're going to have massive floods during August. So we had that last year. It was raining a lot, and when I arrived at the Valle Verzasca with my friend Hanafi, we actually wanted to go to swim there, and well, we already knew that it's raining, so it won't be enjoyable, but at least you could see the place, how it is. But then it was just crazily flooded. All of the rocks were on the water, it was brown. It wasn't pretty, but I would say it was very impressive. So this is something very cool to see. Should you have floods in Switzerland, it is not necessarily bad, it just means that your experience is going to be different, yet still impressive. And here, very important, do not only make your plans for sunny weather when you come to Switzerland during August, actually during any month. There will be at least one day at where it's going to be cloudy or rainy, and here you have plenty of alternatives. You can go to museums, you can go to the underground lake of St. Leonard, you can go to caves. Great attractions to escape the rain. Talking about the attractions, great news. So during August, pretty much everything is going to be open. This is really fantastic. Like July, it's going to be the jackpot month for traveling in Switzerland because everything is open. And here you will really have a choice of broad things you can do. You can go to museums, you can go to caves, you can go pretty much to every hiking trail, you can do pretty much all of the pass roads. I'm going to talk about these two later. You can go to every mountaintop and so on. Everything is open. How cool is that? Yes, it's going to be crowded in some of the attractions, especially around the hotspots, but because everything is open, at least some people will consider other attractions, and then it's not going to be too crowded as during other months when less things are open. One thing you have to bear in mind, because it can be very crowded in certain attractions, you will have to book your ticket in advance because otherwise it's going to be fully booked and you cannot visit it. This, for example, is the case for the Gelmerbahn, but also for the Lac Souterrain, caves, any places with limited space. They will have to filter the tourists, and usually they do that these days with online ticket reservations. I would say you're definitely going to be on the safe side should you want to book your ticket 1 week in advance, but sometimes it's also just enough 1 day ahead, but here no absolute guarantee. And since we're talking about the attractions, here I want to present you my Gemographic Switzerland map. This map you can see all the spots at where I have produced content for. Most of the icons, they're referring to my YouTube videos. If you click on one of them, you're going to be redirected to the corresponding video and also the right time code. If you purchase that map, it's going to be ongoingly updated. That means it's going to be more and more complete, and you don't even have to pay more for that. You can also apply filters, so the map would only show you the attractions that were filmed during winter season or summer season, or then you can also make the map only showing you the villages, and of course you can also apply more filters. If you want to purchase these maps, in the link of the descriptions or also in the pinned comment, you can be clicking on that link, and then you're going to be redirected to Pioneer Maps at where you can purchase the map. By the way, should you want to do that, thank you very much. The next thing would be greens. I know to many of you it is very important to see Switzerland when everything is going to be lush green. During August that is going to be mostly the case. All of the trees are going to carry the leaves because it's summer. The hills are going to be green. Even up in the Alps, because there's more and more snow melting, you will have more fields that are going to be green. However, it is not always lush green, because sometimes we'll have droughts in June and July, and then that means some of the grass fields are going to dry out and they're going to turn yellowish. At least the trees, they're still going to carry the leaves. But if the drought is really severe, then some of the trees are already going to lose the leaves earlier, and then it's going to look like autumn in certain places. By the way, that's also the case in some of the valleys. For example, in Ticino, I realized that just last year, some of the valleys, they're only getting little sun, and in August already the days are again getting shorter, and then you'll have already some of the leaves, they're turning yellowish, and you really would have the impression that it's already autumn. But the water, it's still warm. Talking about the water, August is a great month for swimming. In Switzerland, there are many places where I can swim at, for example in the rivers, the lakes, swimming pools, and especially up in the Alps, the latter I found super cool. So the water in the lakes, it's going to be warm, it's usually around 19 to 23 degrees Celsius. Same for the rivers. But what's really important to bear in mind, the lakes, they're going to be steady, so this is definitely easy for people who are not good swimmers. But if you go to the rivers over there, you will have a stream, and here I only recommend you to swim there if you're a really good swimmer. Then up in the Swiss Alps, it is very nice. In fact, you can see some of the clearest waters, but the beauty of the water can be deceiving because the water is actually very cold in many places. That means it's going to be around 11 to 15 degrees Celsius, and here you really have to enter the water slowly, otherwise you'll have a collapse and you wouldn't want to have an accident on your holidays. But good news, there are also a few places at where it's going to be warmer, around 15 to 19 degrees, but the water up in the Swiss Alps, it's definitely not going to get any warmer than that. Great places to swim in the Alps are Valle or especially Ticino. In my opinion, Ticino is the mecca for swimming in the Alps. And also if you're a canyoneering enthusiast, well, then probably you may want to check about Ticino, because Ticino is worldwide a fantastic region to do canyoneering because you have so many trails. Let's talk about food. July is a summer month, so we'll have the typical summer dishes, for example, rock melon with ham. That's also a very typical dish in Italy. And then we have these dishes, we call them fitnesstello. It's a plate with assorted salads and then just have a piece of meat. It's super cool, and this is also going to be a very healthy dish. Then, very important to mention here, up in the Alps, the typical dishes are usually platters with assorted meats or cheese. This one you can get everywhere in the canton of Graubünden, Valle, Ticino. And especially about the latter, I want to tell you, in Ticino you will have these grotti restaurants. They're super cool, they're very traditional looking, and they're going to serve you authentic local cuisine. Ticino is very famous for their polenta. It's mashed corn, you can have it with cheese, especially with gorgonzola, it's very nice. You can also just have it plain with milk or also with meat. Very popular over there is with rabbit. Of course, in Ticino you can also get assorted meats and especially cheeses, but then the cheeses of Ticino, they're different. You'll have formaggini, which is goat cheese. That one is very nice to have with olive oil. About the culture, in August there are also a lot of things going on. For example, in Schaffhausen you'll have the Stars in Town. This is a festival that happens every year in the city. It's really cool. We'll have street food festivals in many of the places, for example in Neuchâtel. Or then, very important to mention here is the 1st of August. This is the National Day of Switzerland. Everything is going to be closed, but you're going to have a lot of festivities. Everywhere in the cities, and especially in the villages, you can enjoy celebrating with the locals. I would say it's more unique to celebrate in the villages because it's going to be more traditional, and here I highly recommend you to try that out. It's super cool. We'll have a lot of fireworks, we'll have bonfires, and we'll also have lantern walks in some of the places. It's really cool, and by the way, attending these celebrations, it's going to be all free in so-called expensive Switzerland. The next category would be snow. I know to some of you it is very important to see snow during summer. This is possible, but you will have to bear in mind most of the snow has already molten during April and May, and definitely all the rest did in June and especially in July, because during those months it's hot, the days are long. That means you'll have to go up to higher altitudes to still be able to see snow. If you really want to do that, then I recommend you to go to Saas-Fee, to the Mittelallerlin. There you'll have a lot of snow. Otherwise, you can also go to the Jungfraujoch. Schilthorn can also be still snowy. Zermatt with the Klein Matterhorn, in these places usually will still have a lot of snow. But of course the snow, it is different. It's going to be more soft, unlike during winter at where it's hard. If you want to visit Switzerland during the season when everything is going to be covered in all white, well, then definitely August is not the right month for you to travel. For that, you will have to come to Switzerland instead from December to mid-March. And because there's not much snow left during August, it's a great month for hiking. Pretty much all of the hiking trails are going to be open, thus you'll have a large choice of trails that you can go to. Now, what's very important, you should only hike when it's sunny weather, because when it's going to be rainy, it might be slippery, or when there's a lot of fog, then the visibility might be bad. Overall, great month. You can even go to higher altitudes. As I said, there's not much snow left, so that's really cool. This is something that is not possible during June or early July. The pass roads are all open during August because it's summer. There's going to be less and less snow everywhere, so the roads will have perfect conditions. The pass roads are going to take you from one valley to the other one. You'll have shortcuts that you can take. This is only possible during late spring to end summer, and these pass roads are going to take you through some of the most beautiful landscapes in all of Switzerland. Now, my favorite pass road, for example, is the Klausen Pass, and also very nice is the Furka Pass. That one takes you from Uri to Valle. You can also take the Nuffenen Pass from Valle to Ticino. By the way, here I really had a nice encounter with farmers sending back their cows. It was in 2019 with my friend Razi. It was a really interesting experience, but that one only happens during the end of the day. Then a very nice pass road is the Tremola. That one is starting at Airolo, takes you up to the Passo del San Gottardo. It's a serpentine road made of plastered stones. Definitely very nice to drive there, even better with bicycle, and it's also great for taking photos. The waterfalls, they're going to be still powerful, but definitely they're not going to be as strong as during May and June, especially since a lot of snow is melting in July. In August, usually the waterfalls are going to be already a little bit weaker, but still powerful enough. Now, if you want to be absolutely sure to visit the waterfall with enough power, then just go to the Trümmelbach Falls or the Rhine Falls. And if it just rained a few days before, well then you're definitely also going to have enough water. As you can see, it's really great to travel around Switzerland during August. Yes, it can be a bit crowded and expensive at times. However, you'll be able to enjoy pretty much all of the attractions that are open. The days are long and it's also going to be quite warm. So I'm pretty sure that's going to compensate for all of these things. Now, if you want to know how it is to travel around Switzerland during autumn, then you're going to see in this video. Otherwise, if you're more interested in seeing Switzerland during any other month, then I'm going to meet you over there.